short against the Boston Celtics, 105-96. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and welcome to Raptors Tonight, live from Real Sports. I'm Randy Urban, joined by Jack Armstrong, Akil Augustine, and Paul Jones. How you guys doing today?
I love the start to the show, Randall.
Akil's here?
Well, Akil's here, you're here, Jack's here.
All respects due to MLK.
Dr. King would be proud that we have an integrated show.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. King would be proud of parts of the looks of the way the world looks right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Basketball played a big role in that.
I would say, though, that in the marathon of life, we've run a long way, but there's a long way to go.
Long way to go.
And, you know, let's face it, there are times and places when we could not be together like this in the old Jim Crow South. Black, white, African-American, majority culture, TV in a restaurant at a countertop.
Yep.
I mean, those things were difficult, you know, and I say this respectfully, being my age, I lived through that. I watched it go on from the living room of my parents' house, watching on TV. So I think it's great. I think it's great that it's a holiday celebrated in the U.S. I'd love to see it become a holiday up here. He's a great humanitarian.
I agree with you, Jonesy.
He's a great humanitarian. Why is it
Yeah, give it up for
celebrated
MLK.
worldwide?
One time.
Jonesy.
And for our guy, Jones.
What he wanted is where we're trying to head in terms of equality. Men, women, racial, gender, like
Different abilities.
just equal.
Everyone across the board.
Like, judge me by the content of my character,
Yes.
not anything else. I won't even say color of my skin, but anything else. So that's great. Every time we're here and we do something like this, and our former coach in Toronto, Dwayne Casey, and I used to talk about this all the time. Dwayne was, I think, only the 4th or 5th African-American to play in Kentucky.
Yep.
The SEC was the last conference to fully integrate in football and basketball.
Right.
So, like, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
We have a long way to go, but we've come a long way.
Well, education is paramount when you want progress, and I think with education there has to be awareness. And for more awareness,
Right.
why don't we petition? I don't know who we can talk to, but we got to talk to somebody to try to make this a national holiday. This should be like that. You know people. People.
I co-sign. Jack's got a lot of sway over on this side of the border, but
That's
I
true.
co-sign absolutely. MLK Day should be recognized here in Canada too. He's we're kin, both the United States and Canada. We're kin in a lot of the things we do, and I think I'm down. You tell me where to sign, I'll sign, and I'll push it.
What does this day mean to you personally when you see the celebrations that the NBA is doing throughout the day, and just reflecting on what Paul was saying?
For me personally, knowing that, listen, my life has been the NBA, right? And I'm a benefactor of the work that the league has done I say this often, to normalize the presence of black men, successful black men on the screen, to give myself heroes to grow up to, right? And to see the league make it part of their agenda that they take over the airwaves, right? On Martin Luther King Day every year, I think is it's paramount for young men to see these successful black men, their images being broadcast across the nation, and it does a lot for us in terms of creating hope for the future and creating and lifting all the ceilings off of what a lot of people who grow in compromising situations think is possible for them. A lot of these players come from different walks of life. Got guys from Africa, inner city United States, all across the world. We have a black player from Germany. All their stories need to be told, and I think the NBA is a platform to tell those stories. So I'm glad that they take MLK Day and they take over the airwaves.
Jack, your thoughts?
Well, you know, as you guys know, I'm a father of 3 African-American sons.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously it's near and dear to me as well. And obviously my life in basketball, playing, coaching, broadcasting, I think the NBA is at the forefront of being able to raise the awareness level. And I think it's a wonderful thing. And I thought Garrett Temple tonight, both in the video and in his brief chat to the arena, said it so beautifully and so eloquently that, you know, I look at it and I go, wow, if you're his dad or mom, how proud. And, you know, I look at my 3 sons, how proud I am of them. And I've walked in different shoes that they've walked in. I've tried to help guide them in their journey, and I'm proud of the journey that they're on. And I wholeheartedly agree with Akil and Paul in terms of I would love to see this become not only a holiday in the United States, but in Canada.
You know, Randy, to Jack's point, and sports is that microcosm of society.
Yep.
Isn't it amazing what you can do when everybody is working toward the same goal? Everybody on a team in a uniform, or the NBA, everybody is working toward the same goal. Yeah. You can push the ball down the field, you can make some noise, you can do something, you can change things, but it takes everybody to do it. And that's the problem with our world right now. Not everybody's willing to be accepting of differences, all the things that Akil mentioned. Jack talking about raising three African. He's never walked in their shoes, but look at how successful they are. Look at what they got from Jack and Dina. Why? Because we're all working toward the same goal here. We're not seeing differences, right? And I know this from my time in education. Kids will play together the whole time. Nobody says anything to anybody until somebody says, hey, watch out for the insert kid here. Yeah. Whatever it is, race, color, creed, the black kid, the Jewish kid, the Muslim kid. Kids don't see that.
Yep. They don't.
And the same way we can teach acceptance, the problem is people are teaching inequity and hate and all the other stuff too. That's learned too. So, this day, I reflect on it a lot when it comes up, because I watched the funeral. Yeah. The night that Martin Luther King Jr. was shot, I was at junior choir practice. My father, a very stoic man, came to pick me up on a Thursday night. It was the first time I'd seen adults cry because this is what happened. Our world was changed. In 1968, in a matter of 2 months, we lost Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy. Between April and June, two of the main guys, one majority culture Caucasian, the other one African American, pushing for changes in civil rights. Both of them exterminated. It's tough to take.
Thank you for those words, Jonesy. And it's important to continue to talk about this because you said 1968, and you said that you lived through it, and you're not old. That wasn't that long ago.
It's in our lifetime.
And that is, it's scary to me. Because you think of it as something that's so far in the past, and it's not that far in the past, and it continues to things still continue to happen
let's
now.
Hope, and I think both of you agree with it. Let's hope the young people don't lose sight of that, of the journey that so many folks before them, and the struggles and the fight that they took on that have made their life better now. I think it's great that we celebrate this every year to bring awareness to the young people that are living a better life now, that they can't lose sight of what the folks before them did to make their life better.
And I think the NBA guys recognize that.
I agree with you.
I really do. And,
yeah.
We have the good fortune of sitting down and talking to Wayne Embry. Mr. Embry talking about his late wife, Terry, getting on a bus to go and march in the South, and he says, no, you're not. And she says, yes, I am. Mm-hmm. And, those are the kinds of things that push the ball forward and lead to change.
We stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amen.
Yeah.
Love that, buddy.
Well said.
Yeah, honestly, thank you guys for your words and just being here. Tough to transition from that, but let's talk about the basketball game today. The basketball was a small thing in this grand scheme of life, but it's why we're all here together.
Sure. It's important to us.
Yeah. So just your impressions, Akil, of watching that game today. First impressions.
Listen. I'm super impressed with what Quickly and RJ have brought to this team. The unfortunate part is they come in mid-season, and so the entire group hasn't had a chance to acclimate to how to play with them. They've come in like gangbusters. I believe they've led the team in scoring now 5 out of the 7 games. One of them has been the lead scorer. Emmanuel Quickly 3 times, RJ twice. And they've really brought a certain amount of life and energy to the offense, playing at a crazy pace. I think Scotty still needs time to adjust and to settle into his own style. And I think the real swing in this game was when RJ subbed out in that third and things kind of got away from the Raptors. because they couldn't recreate that energy and that momentum that those guys had created. But I mean, listen, down 2 guys, Jakob, Gary, a limited bench, and they battled with a top-tier Celtics team, 30-9, number 1 in the conference, averaging 120 points per game. There's a lot to walk away from. There are no moral victories, like Jack always tells me, but I think there's stuff to walk away from when you're building forward as a Raptors organization.
Jonesy, your impressions?
Akil said it best, that third quarter. I mean, and you look at the way the game is played now. Raptors had more field goals, 25, 30 more points in the paint.
Yep.
Free throw attempts, negligible.
The three-point shooting, yeah.
Boston outscored them like 16-4 from behind the arc.
Yeah.
That's 36 points.
You know, and it's interesting, tonight, you know, you look at the Raptors came into the game really shooting the ball well from 3, and they got good shots tonight. It's not like they got bad shots. They didn't turn the ball over. I thought they played better defensively after